Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be talking about the tropics today. The tropics are definitely getting a little bit more active. We're actually going to be more focused on Invest 92L for today in the Atlantic. That's most of what we're going to be talking about. So let's first take a look into the National Hurricane Center outlook. We got two areas to watch. You got Invest 92L, where I just circled a little bit ago. So this is disturbance number one, a 70% chance in the next 5 days. That's a pretty high chance. A tropical wave near the west coast of Africa is producing a large area of disorganized showers of thunderstorms. The wave is expected to move off the coast of Senegal, the Gambia, and the Guinea-Bissau. I don't really know how to pronounce that. Um, Later tonight. Environmental conditions appear somewhat conducive for gradual development. Any tropical depression is likely to form over the eastern tropical Atlantic south of Cape Verde Islands by late Saturday or early Sunday, while the system moves westward to northwestward about 15 miles per hour. So the islands we're talking about is right here, and the hurricane models do bring it a little bit further north than what the some of the main models do show. So that's something we need to watch here. Then we got this other system right here, and this is another tropical wave. So we got a tropical wave located over the central tropical Atlantic continues to produce a broad area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions are expected to be marginally conducive for some slow development east of the Lesser Antilles by early next week, while the disturbance moves west-northwestward at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So it's got a low end 5% chance, or 20% chance, I should say, in the next 5 days. It's a pretty low end chance. We'll talk about these two systems. But the main one to talk about is Invest 92L. And you can see here, it's not going to look great, but it's still over Africa for right now, but it's expected to move over the Eastern Atlantic later tonight. We only got two models right now for the model guidance track, and this is at 18Z. So this is on its latest update. I'm sure we'll get several more models involved on its next update, which will be later this evening. But you can see here we currently only have two models again, but they do bring it towards those islands as well. So those folks definitely need to watch for the system here. It may form as a tropical depression when it gets there. And I'll show you guys what the environment looks like ahead of it. And we do not have any ensemble guidance right now. But here's the intensity guidance. We got a few models on here on the board. We currently got 5 models out here. You can see here, 2 of them bring into a Category 1 hurricane, and a couple of these bring it to a tropical storm. I think the ones are more accurate to bring it to a tropical storm, given the fact that they will be going through some cooler waters and maybe a little bit dry air, which is going to slow down the development of this thing here of Invest 92L. So let's check out the GFS. So right now your tropical wave, just by looking on this here, should be somewhere, yeah, it should be like right here. As we continue on here, the tropical wave should be able to move out into the eastern Atlantic here, which is not really popping up here by the looks of it on here. GFS is not really showing it. If we do go back though, it does show the other system, which is somewhere right in here. And the GFS has not been doing too well with the tropics over the last few systems, so I'll take this as a grain of salt. But it doesn't really show much of any development. Oh wait, no, it's down here. Never mind. I see it now. I've been looking up here. My bad. Um, so your islands is right here. I've been looking up there this whole time. You can see here, it does take it a little bit of a southern track here from the GFS. So here it is right there. And as we kind of continue on here, it will be going through slightly cooler waters, but if it does go a little bit further north, like the hurricane models have it, the waters are more cooler up there than it's down here. So there's some uncertainties there on the track already. But we don't have many hurricane models out right now, but that's just what it looks like for right now. But you can see here how Invest 92 continues to move over the eastern Atlantic, and it'll be continuing to move to the west. It will hit some wind shear though, You can see some of this wind shear is going on right there. That's going to really slow down the system for developing as well, especially early on here, where there is quite a bit of wind shear, and it looks like it just kind of gives up right there, indicated by the GFS. But it looks like it will have some wind shear to deal with on that system. And as we look to precipitable water numbers, you can see here there is a little bit of dry air just to the north of it. Not too much, but there is a little bit of dry air to work with, which that might just be enough dry air to kind of interrupt the system a little bit. But it looks like it kind of does just fine with the dry air. I think it's just going to be the wind shear might be the big uncertainty. Plus, you don't have much of the way of ocean heat content and warm sea surface temperatures. But this model's not really showing any development at all for this next system that's over here. Just about to look at the GFS model here. Doesn't look like it's picking it up all that much, but we'll still watch for that as well. But it looks like the chance of development is still very low, so I won't be too worried about that system for right now. Because by the looks of it, there is going to be some dry air in place, and maybe a little bit of wind shear involved as well. So here's the ocean heat content here, like I was talking about, and you can see here. Let me get a different color here, so you guys can see it a little bit better. So our system is right here, and it's going to be tracking through something like this here. So your islands is right here, Cape Verde Islands, however you want to call it. It's in some very low ocean heat content, and that's not really good for tropical development if you got near zero ocean heat content. If you want tropical development, it's got to go a little bit further south, but some of these models are taking it a little bit further north, where we have cooler waters and less ocean heat content as well. We're going to see what happens beyond that. So if it continues that track, there is warmer waters and there's a little bit more ocean heat content to work with. So we're going to see how the system will go over the next several days here, because we do not know when it kind of gets to this point right here. But here's the sea surface temperatures I was talking about here. And so your system is like right here. There is a hot spot of warmer temperatures, and that's why we're kind of expecting a tropical depression to develop because there is some warmer sea surface temperatures right there. But when it passes the islands, when it kind of goes to the northwest, kind of goes into temperatures that are like 24 to 25 degrees Celsius. Usually the green colors is not really favorable for tropical systems. When we get into the yellows, that's pretty neutral. And then we get into the oranges and reds and pinks, that's favorable for tropical development. And it will be going through an area where there is some decent environment for tropical development, which that's why there's a chance for a tropical depression to develop because we do have some of those warmer sea surface temperatures. But when if it goes a little further north, it will go through some much cooler waters and that can slowly die down and maybe even kill it. We'll see what happens with that system. Meanwhile, for that other system that's down here, there is some very warm sea surface temperatures out there. So the Depth has no issue with that. Plus, there's plenty of ocean heat content, so it has no problems with that. I think it's just got to deal with some wind shear and dry air. But check out the Gulf of Mexico. It's definitely got much warmer. It's still, I believe it's still at average, maybe slightly above average on its sea surface temperatures, but we'll see how it goes there. But that's continuing to warm as well. So that's pretty much it for Invest 92L and its other disturbance. I want to very quickly check out the Eastern Pacific where things are pretty active. And it looks like activity will continue to go in the Eastern Pacific. So we got Hilda right here. This is expected to die down, probably die out probably sometime this weekend here. 5 a.m. on Saturday is when this thing will die down. So no big deal there, no threat to land. Then we got Gemina right here. Currently a tropical storm, but we do expect it to die down into a tropical depression by Friday, and eventually it should die out sometime this weekend as well. And this will not make it to Hawaii, but you can actually see Hawaii, which is right there. Even though if it still continues, it may just miss just to the north of Hawaii. But we'll see what happens with this system here. But right now, we're not expecting it to develop or to make it to Hawaii. It's expected to be on a downtrend. But it does have a disturbance back here, though, which some also have been hinting on maybe a hurricane somewhere out there in the Eastern Pacific here. A 60% in the next 5 days. Don't be surprised if that percentage does go up. I've seen the Euro and the GFS do indicate a pretty impressive system out there, which if I go back to the GFS really quickly here, you might be able to see those systems. Yeah, right there it is. A pressure of 954 millibars. That's a pretty strong system right there. You can see it then moves out of the screen there. So seems like a hurricane is probably possible out there in the Eastern Pacific over the next several days. So definitely getting pretty active here in the tropics, not only in the Atlantic, but also in the Eastern Pacific as well. But anyways, guys, that's all for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you already like my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. If you guys have questions about this, hit the comment section down below. I need you guys' questions. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.